Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All India Radio Houston. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, your host, and we will be here for the next hour. This is a talk show where we focus in depth on one or two topics that are of interest to you. You can join in the conversation by calling 281-983-9550. The telephone number again is 281-983-9550. If you would like to be a guest on this program, please contact us at 281-265-7567. This program in part has been sponsored by Sugarland Heart Center. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All India Radio Houston. I am Dr. Nik Nikam. We will be here till 4 p.m. If you'd like to join in the conversation, the number to call here is 281-983-9550. Now, my special guest this afternoon is Navin Mediwala, and everybody in the Indian community knows Navin very well.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Navin, welcome to All India Radio. And I think your pictures are so famous. I thought maybe we will invite you and find out the secret of still photography. And I'm sure you do something beyond still photography. Let's start with how did you get involved with this still photography, and how did you develop all these skills? Before we get into the technical details of the camera, lights, and things like that, for somebody who may be interested in doing something like you do.
Sure. First of all, thank you for inviting me. Yeah. It's an honor to be here. I guess people develop a passion or something very early in age. And when I was growing up, and I used to kind of go to the city, and I'm originally from Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. I used to pass this photo studio, and those are the black and white days, black and white photo days. I used to be very fascinated watching this one picture of the owner of the studio, where he had somehow incorporated two images in one. Basically, he was looking straight at you, and then he had an image sideways that he had merged. And I just was fascinated just watching that, and I said, how did he do it? So it's kind of started early, and then
so that picture left a permanent mark, and it created a wonderful hobby for you.
Exactly. And I guess my dad saw me when he was watching me, going through all the pictures and whatever few magazines that I used to get. He bought me one of those, those box cameras, the brownie cameras.
Yes. So how old were you when you got your first camera?
I guess I must have been about 8 years old.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so your hobby has been not for just starting after retirement or something. So you
no, I was always interested in photography.
Right? Yeah.
I guess my job prevented me from spending a good time towards this hobby, because my job required me to travel, so I traveled extensively for my job. But over the weekends, of course, I have always had my camera with me.
Yes.
And also during traveling, during after hours, after work hours and all, I used to carry my camera around and just capture pictures of just anything, anything.
Okay, let's talk about you are passionate about photography, and so you really wanted to learn more about photography. How did you go about learning about photography? Did you take any formal courses in college, or did you take any informal classes?
No, I'd never taken any classes in my life. And basically it was just taking a lot of pictures, but and of course I have spent a lot of money, when we had the films and all that. But thanks to this digital age,
that's right.
You can take thousands of pictures and not go through all those expenses. So you can do a lot of trial and errors. And again, there are so many sites on YouTube that you can pick up. So basically, you just pick up any camera that you have. There's no such thing as a good camera. All are good cameras.
Yes.
And you just write the name of the camera on YouTube or Google it.
That's right. Yes.
And you get all people love to post just about everything that you possibly wish to learn on YouTube.
You're absolutely right. In preparation for this, I was looking at some of the YouTube things. I've been fascinated by movies right from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I somehow I'm drawn to more video production versus still photography or something like that. But again, video production is a totally different ballgame. Let's talk about the cameras. Now, most young people when they get married, they want to become amateur photographers.
Right.
So where do they start? Let's start with what kind of camera they need to get.
To begin with, I would suggest just first of all, decide exactly what kind of, first of all, of course, you have already made up your mind, what kind of photography are you interested in? Is it just family photos? Is it landscapes or wildlife photography? So basically, you just pick up a regular camera. When I say regular, whatever your budget allows, there's a very nice site called dpreview.com. That's just like the letter D, like David Preview, PREVIEW.com. And then that gives you every detail about the cameras and all that. My suggestion would be to pick up the latest production of the camera, because every time they come up with a new camera, there are enhancements. So you begin with that, and then of course you start looking, whatever your budget allows. Based on that, you just kind of look at some of the retailers and get the best price.
One of the things most people want to know is, obviously the cell phone cameras are fine, but in different lightings and all this, they may not really cut the chase. So if they have to look into a beginner's camera, because I was doing some research for this presentation, what cameras you think would be in the beginner's range, say like $500 or $600?
Oh, there's lots of these days. What people love to carry is just like the cell phone. They like to carry a very compact camera in a pocket.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you look at the quality of the pictures in those cameras, it just amazes you. They're just very beautiful. So, within like a range of $300 to $500, you can pick up a very good camera, excellent camera. Now, the one thing you got to remember is, again, everything has its limitations.
I see.
Okay, but these days, if you just want to be a fairly good enough photographer, you have to go beyond just taking pictures. There's something called post-processing also. And in order to do post-processing, obviously there are so many other software available for you, for us to kind of pull those up in example like Adobe Photoshop and tweak the lighting, the shadows, and the luminosity and the colors and all that. Yes.
I see. Yeah. What kind of camera do you use?
Well, right now, of course, I have all Canon equipment.
I see. Yeah.
But when I was shooting films, I started with Nikon.
Yeah.
And I don't know what made me switch. I guess I got a good deal in camera when the digital cameras came along. Yeah. And so I stuck with digital. So basically, I started with basic Canon cameras, and then after I started capturing a lot of pictures, I realized that I need to get a professional camera to do, because it's sort of like an addict. The more you get into it, the more you find out that you need this and you need that. So I just bought a professional camera, and then I realized that I didn't have decent enough lenses, what we call prime lenses.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So let's talk about lenses.
What happens is that obviously after you buy the camera, and normally you can always buy just a basic lens that comes with the camera, and then you realize that you want to take sometimes you wish that I wish I had a telephoto lens to capture that kind of a picture of let's say a bird that's sitting on a tree, that's pushed out on the tree. So then obviously you start looking at those factors. through experience, I found out
Yes.
that I realized that you don't have to have a top of the line camera for it,
Yeah.
but you do have to have a very powerful lens
I see.
in order to reduce what we call noise
I
in
see,
terms of camera, or the grainy effect and all that.
So
So that's what I learned.
So you feel that lens is more important
More
than the body
important
of
than
the
the camera, exactly.
So when you're talking about Nikon or Canon camera, do you always go with their company lenses, or because I have seen on the websites where
Yeah.
the off-brand names are like 1/3 the price of Nikon lenses?
Exactly. No. Well, people, again, it depends on the individuals, but I like to stick with everything Canon,
What-
since
I
I
see, yeah.
have Canon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, to me, I don't know. People will disagree with me, but obviously there's something called synchronization. So
I
I'm very
see, yeah.
comfortable using the same brand.
Yeah, because they
of
work, they use
everything,
all the
yes.
features in the body, and so that they sort
Exactly,
of work
exactly.
together. Okay, let's take a little break here, and then we'll be right back. I'm talking to Navin Mediwala. We are talking about still photography and cameras and what you can do with those. You're listening to All India Radio Houston. The number to call here if you'd like to join in the conversation, the number here is 2819839550. We'll be right back after these messages. South Texas Vascular Center, located in Sugar Land, Texas. Dr. Imran Mohiuddin specializes in vascular diseases of the legs and arterial grafts. Their office is located at 20403 University Boulevard, Sugar Land, Texas. Their telephone number is 281-302-6292. Again, 281-302-6292. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to All India Radio Houston. I am Dr. Nik Nikam. My guest is Navin Mediwala. We are talking about cameras, still photography, and everything related to cameras. Let's talk about flash. Flash, because the cell phones are fine in daylight and good lighting, but when you start taking pictures with cell phones or smartphones, everything falls apart.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, these days all the cameras come with built-in flash units, but when you're taking group pictures and all, most of the time you want to light up the area. So to me, it does make a difference if you add on a camera flash. Just a dedicated.
Even a separate
separate unit that you can attach to the camera. Yes, it does. And then.
So even for beginners, you would think that would be essential to. It's good to have a nice light, because the people I'm talking about are young couples. They have a child, so they want to capture all these precious, candid moments in their life.
Yes, and obviously it does make a difference when you add on a flash to the camera. Now, results can also be accomplished if you just use all the software, but that's afterwards. Once you get comfortable using the camera, and then you try to kind of learn some kind of software to try to enhance the images.
Oh, okay. You want to give out your number or contact information if somebody wants to find out more about this particular hobby of photography?
Oh, definitely. I have a website called Photography by Navin. That's NAVIN.com. That's my website. I know it has not been updated since last year, but it's okay. It's still my contact information is there. And feel free to call me at 832-567-6334. Again, the number is 832-567-6334. I have a lot of people, youngsters and adults who contact me, just trying to get some insight about where they should start looking for a camera, or how they can improve their photography skills. And obviously, I am just willing to help just about anybody without any any strings attached.
I mean, one of the things you may want to consider is have a Saturday 1 hour group discussion, something like that, if you have enough people with interest.
Well, I do have students to train on a regular basis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And especially during the summer months,
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
when the kids are out of school,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
do
okay.
get calls.
That's
so what I
wonderful,
do is, I do conduct classes and stuff like that. And again, it's almost like a 3-month course.
I see.
And some of them are one-on-one,
Yeah.
and the others come as groups. But rather than spend time actually, going through the books and all that,
I know,
which
yeah.
they can go, I actually do on-the-job training. In other words, go out there and start taking pictures. That's
You're
that's how it
absolutely
starts
right.
early.
No book can teach anything that you can learn from practical experience. It's been said that you can read all the medical books until you treat the first patient with a medical illness. You will not know what it means to be a physician.
Exactly.
So,
And I give them ample opportunities. I go for professional shoots also.
I see, yeah.
And I do like to tag along 1 or 2 students there.
Oh, that's great.
And of course, I have to go through the formal, permissions and all.
Okay, let's give out your number again if some other students are interested in joining your training program.
Okay, my number is 832-567-6334, and the website is photography by Navin, NAVIN.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to All India Radio Houston. I'm Dr. Nik Nikam. If you'd like to join in the conversation or if you have a specific question, please call us here at 281-983-9550. Navin, let's talk about all the smartphones now have like 8 megapixels. One of the Nokia from Microsoft has 45 megapixels and all these things. Mm-hmm. But your regular DSLRs have maybe 10, 14 megapixels. Explain to us what's the significance of megapixels and the quality of picture.
Megapixels, basically, I think what it is it all depends on how fast the lens is on a camera.
I see, yeah.
So basically what that means is when you take pictures under conditions that there's not enough light, you need a faster lens to capture those pictures.
Yeah.
Otherwise you need flash units.
I see.
Obviously the cell phone is limited in those kind of things. Yeah. So that's what it is. So where the diaphragm gets an opportunity to open up its full size, for example, what we refer to as aperture, if you go to like f1.2 or something, under lighting conditions that are kind of dull, you're able to capture sharp pictures. You don't even need a flash. So naturally, a camera, a cell phone camera, or any of those kind of cell phone units, I
have found out. We have a caller here, so let's get the caller on the line and then we'll continue. Hello?
Hi, this is Aiden Glazer, and
hi, go ahead.
I'm a cinematographer.
Go ahead. You have a question?
With ISO, image sensitivity,
no,
it's lower to keep it. It's better to keep it low, right?
ISO. Okay, Navin, he's talking about ISO.
What's your question again?
Yeah, could you be more specific with your question?
So it's better to keep a low ISO to keep film grain down, right?
Okay.
Well, it's ISO strictly. It depends on the lighting conditions. So basically, when you're out in the open, like a sunny day, you don't need. I mean, you can go with 100 ISO. Okay, let's say you go in. If you go indoors, and then you can make it what we refer to as a fast film. Basically, increase the ISO from 100, for example, to 400 or 800 to capture the same picture to get better lighting conditions. But what happens is if you increase the ISO past, let's say 800, then you're going to get a lot of noise, meaning that you'll get kind of that grainy effect on your on the prints or on the prints, obviously. So what you have to do really at that time, either there's software that comes that you kind of try to diminish that noise, the alternative is naturally that's where the professional camera comes in.
Okay, does this ISO make a difference in digital cameras?
It makes a big difference, yes, definitely. Yeah. So basically, if it's just a regular camera, I would say, I mean, from what people have told me, is the limit would be like 800 ISO. If you go beyond that, then obviously you're going to get a grainy effect.
I see. Yeah.
But you can play around with the aperture, depending on, again, the situation, whether you're taking a picture of an individual and want a blurry background as opposed to taking a landscape, capturing a landscape or something. Again, so there's like three things that are really main things that are involved. The aperture, obviously, what we call the f-stop. Exactly, what we refer to as the f-stop, and the shutter speed and the ISO.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of playing with those three numbers and then getting your optimum, print.
I guess that's a good way to go, and maybe they can take an object and try all these different variations one by one and see which one gets the best contrast, the depth and clarity, and also color saturation, things like that. In that way, they can see what works. Well, talking about all these different things, when you put the head on like this, when you are talking about. Before we go further, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to All India Radio Houston. We are talking about still photography. My special guest is Navin Mediwala. The number to call here is 281-983-9550. When we are talking about taking pictures in the Indian community, all these functions, when you go there, you have all kinds of rainbow colors.
Exactly.
Unlike taking a still photography in a studio. So how do you work with all these multicolor dresses Indian people wear, which is very colorful to look? I don't know how the camera responds to that.
Well, just like any other picture that you'd capture, just capturing those kind of scenes obviously adds pizzazz to the picture, But it's I kind of enjoy doing that.
Do you have a separate, different kind of settings for all these multi-color?
No. Well, the settings, most, of course, I go in the manual. I always use the manual mode 100% of the time.
Yes.
One of the things with all these modern cameras is it's got all the settings already pre-adjusted for you. So basically, if you look at those pictures, you'll see either landscape or night photography or portrait or whatever.
So these are all sort of pre-programmed. All these three parameters you talked about. The shutter speed, the ISO and ISO.
It's already set up there.
I see. Yeah.
So for a beginner, that is good enough.
Yes.
But if you want to go beyond that, then obviously get into the manual mode and just start playing with it. You can come up with better combinations.
I see. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So let's talk about when you're taking pictures, light and distance, all these things make a difference, especially if you're in an auditorium, depending upon where you are from the stage, because I can never get any good pictures of the stage from my smartphone.
Yes.
What's the reason?
Okay, the reason is what kind of lens you're using. Generally for family pictures, group pictures, the individuals, you can use a lens which is anywhere from 24 millimeters to, let's say, 104 millimeters, to that range. But once you start, if the subject trying to photograph is at a distance, then obviously that's when the telephoto lens comes into play. Now you got to remember, the pictures that I take, of course, and again, anybody using a flash, if you read the manual that comes with your flash unit, they recommend that after every 15 flashes, you got to kind of give a break to the flash for X number of minutes.
Oh, I see.
So that's when this manual mode, and then if you buy like a professional flash unit with it, you can lower the intensity of the light.
Yes.
So you can increase the number of pictures from 15 to, let's say, 50,
yes,
and not worry about giving the flash unit a
So
little
when
gray.
you're using telephoto lens, your flash no more
No,
longer
I'm
works.
not
So you have to
using-
rely purely on the light in
On the lighting
distance.
conditions, I'm
At the distance.
increasing the ISO
Yeah.
also.
And the exposure time.
And exposure time and all that. Especially, I do a lot of events on the stage.
That's right,
So
yeah.
the shutter speed, in order to catch those people who are performing at quite a speed,
That's right,
you have
yeah.
to catch them. You get those still images without getting blur. Obviously, you have to increase the shutter speed.
Yeah.
So correspondingly, sometimes then you also have to increase the ISO also.
Yeah.
And you can't, under those circumstances, you cannot use
Yeah.
a flash.
That's right. Yeah. Once up to what distance can we reasonably use the flash?
Well, I'll tell you, to me, I think up till about maybe 50 feet or so, you
Yeah.
can still use a flash. Although, if you read the manual, you can go past that. But
Yeah.
to me, reasonably, I think the limit would be about 50 feet or so.
50 feet.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about still photography. My special guest is Navin Mediwala, and the number to call here, if you'd like to join in the conversation, the number is 281-983-9550. You're listening to All India Radio. This is 1090 AM. We will be here for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Let's talk about if somebody wants to learn more about photography on their own, what would be the best source?
The best source to me is YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Whatever camera you have, just write the name of the camera and write tutorials,
yeah.
and you can get the whole gamut of things.
Okay, what about the flash itself? Some people use it in an angle, some people use it from the side, some people use it from behind. Could you elaborate on that?
What you're trying to accomplish is try not to get a shadow.
I see, yeah.
So if you have a low ceiling,
Yeah,
then it's nice to bounce the light off of the ceiling.
I see, yeah.
So then you don't get you get zero flash.
Yeah,
If you sometimes the lights may be very bright, but still there may be some shadows, then you can bounce the light off the wall in the back
I
or
see.
at an
Oh,
angle.
I see,
At
yeah.
an angle.
yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, you generally try to avoid facing the flash direct on the subject,
I see, yeah.
because that will cause harsh shadows.
Like a washout.
Yes.
Yeah.
So generally, what you try to accomplish is, there's always a little diffuser that comes with the
I see,
flash
yeah,
unit.
yeah.
You use that, and that kind of diminishes or minimizes the shadows.
Well, this is just like scraping the surface of a iceberg. I mean, it's like a lifelong journey. I think any kind of hobby that we get involved with.
It's good. It's nice. Again,
Yeah.
if you're interested in photography or any other,
Yeah.
hobby that you have, naturally, the more you get into, the more you try to find out, and more you're trying to accomplish the best results.
Yeah.
The more you do to try to get the best results.
Absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to All India Radio Houston. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and we are just about running out of time. My special guest is Navin Mediwala. He is a photographer, and he is very popularly known in the Indian circles. Navin, let's talk about how people can get in touch with you, and tell us about your programs you have for the school students.
Programs I have is I conduct classes during generally summer months. I was just planning to open up some new classes, and I'm going to start advertising pretty soon, at least on Facebook and
I see,
also
yeah.
on my website. In order to get in touch with me, just contact me via either email photography by naveen@gmail.com, or just go to my website photographybynaveen.com, and the number you can also call me on my cell phone 832-567-6334.
Navin, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have, and we will be back next time with Dr. Mahisha Gai, and she's going to talk about alternative medicine. So have a wonderful weekend. We will see you next Friday at 3 p.m. This segment of the program has been sponsored by Sri Sitaram Foundation, the folks who brought you the Dasara Mela 2012 and Dasara Mela 2013 at the Skeeters Stadium. The preparations for Dasara Mela 2014 are already underway. If you would like to participate in the bhajans, dances, Ramleela stage show, parade, or if you would like to volunteer, or if you would like to sponsor Dasara Mela 2014, please contact Sri Sitaram Foundation at 713-714-5680 or visit www.sitaram.org. Stay tuned for Dasara Mela 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to All India Radio Houston on 1090 AM. This is a talk show where we focus on one or two topics in depth on a variety of subjects. If you would like to hear on a particular topic, call us or send us an email and we will try to get experts to share their views and opinions. If you would like to be a guest on this program and share your views, please give us a call at 281-265-7567 or send us an email at drniknikam@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook under the keyword Houston Indians. I am Dr. Nik Nikam. Have a wonderful weekend and we will join you again at 3 p.m. next Friday.